What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the podcast. Solo yet again because nobody wants to be my friend. Ben was going to come on with me and we had some ideas planned, but shit comes up, life happens. So, solo yet again. So quickly, we'll go over all the fab offers from this week. So, I'm on all transactions. So, Matt picks up Devin Singletary, $7. Lance bid 4, Tim bid 4, Tiff bid 0. I got Ty Chandler, Tiff bid 0. Lance gets the Detroit defense. Ryan went to pick him up for $2, or pick them up for $2, didn't get him. Ryan gets Washington as a backup. Well, maybe a front because he $5 instead of $2. Tim tried to bid his lowly $4 on it, didn't get it. But he did bid his lowly $4 on Noah Brown and beat Ryan by $1. So, other players, Jalen Reed was added by Tim. Michael Wilson was added by Ryan. Minnesota's defense was added by Tiffany. Becker got Jacksonville. Matt got Brandon Cooks. I believe that was David Njoku went to Becker for $6, and that's it. There was a trade that happened a couple days ago. Me and Ryan he gets Tony Pollard, I get DK Metcalf. I have Pacheco and Montgomery and Jalen Warren emerging, so don't need the underperforming Tony Pollard on my team anymore, but the upside's definitely there. Great matchup this week, and he's going to ball out for the rest of the season because I traded him away. So, Ryan, you're welcome for me eating all of the shit weeks and you taking the reward from that. So, anyways, I hit the wrong button, didn't I? Yep, I sure did. Moving on. We'll go over last week's matchups. This was a close one. So, last minute on Sunday, I decided I'm going to play Gabe Davis instead of Jalen Warren. Now, I still won, but barely. That decision almost came back to bite me in the ass. He had Jerry Jeudy, I had Gabe Davis. I did not watch a singular snap of the game that happened on Monday. I just knew that if I watched any of that football game, that Gabe Davis was going to put up a big old goose egg, and Jerry Jeudy was going to put up like 36 points. So, Jerry Jeudy dropped the final pass of the game that would have given John the win, but luckily for me, I narrowly escape with the victory. So, Olave's finally coming alive here. David Montgomery with a 17-point return week. That's nice for the future here. I started Goff over Lamar Jackson. That turned out really well for me. That was about it. On his team, I checked it. I think it was Sunday. Mark Andrews. I'm recording this while the game is happening. I saw the Mark Andrews injury. He's been ruled out for the remainder of the game. That is rough. I just saw Andrews down on the field like he had a back injury or something, like laying on his back, not moving, fucking waving everybody to come over. And then, it goes to commercial and it comes back and he's walking into the tunnel. Like, I don't know, just the way he laid down and freaked out made it seem like it was a serious like back injury or something, and they're saying high ankle sprain maybe, and I don't fucking know. But anyway, back to it. Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker were doing like damn near nothing, and then they connected on a huge pass for a touchdown. So that was really lucky for him. Debo had a good game back. You expect a little bit more from Debo in the future. Najee Harris, him and Jalen Warren seem to be kind of splitting carries here, but I mean, 19 points and 18 points, that's a pretty crazy even split and a productive split that I myself didn't even see coming. So neither one of us did very well this week. I just kind of got lucky on that one. We would have lost to every other team in the league, so I don't feel too proud about that win. Another close one, Becker and Ryan. I'm just looking at it again. Prescott is like, I don't understand Prescott, man. Like, dude looked like garbage. Like the Cowboys needed to move on from him at the beginning of the year, and now he's out here putting up 4 touchdowns for 404 yards. I mean, I don't know. CJ Stroud coming back down to earth a little bit with that 1 touchdown. Still 356 passing yards is really good, but CJ Stroud, rookie of the year for sure. But this MVP talk, that's no. Way too soon. Way too soon. If he keeps it up for the remainder of the year, maybe we can talk then. But 45 from Dak, 23 from Lamar, 18 from Kamara, 12 from Jacobs, and 13 from Stevenson. Everything else was a complete and utter disappointment. I think this 0 from Jahan Dotson kind of sunk him. He only lost by 4, so he would have survived it if he would have started somebody else. Kind of feels bad, You'll be all right. You got Connor coming back and Jefferson and all that stuff, so you'll be all right. 39 points from CeeDee Lamb, so you kind of negate the Dak Prescott stuff a little bit with one of the. Well, he didn't even get a receiving touchdown, did he? I thought he got a receiving touchdown as a rushing touchdown, but anyway. Regardless, 16 from Metcalf, 17 from Bijan. Bijan actually got, I think it was like 70% of the carries over 30. Tyler Algiers 30%. So the coach kind of listened to all the fans and everything, but at the same time, the Falcons lost. So hopefully for Bijan's sake, that doesn't go back to what it was. I have a bad feeling that Arthur Smith is going to do that. And I have made a note in my notes for future reference that Arthur Smith is like the fantasy equivalent of the devil. I don't really want, if I can help it, a part of anybody on his fucking team, because that dude just does not. Like, I think he actually hates fantasy football because some of the shit that he does is like, I can't think of any other reason why he does it other than to hurt fantasy football managers. So I know it's not probably realistic, but that's what I think. My podcast. Good God, Lance. So, oh yeah, I forgot. I don't know who I picked in that matchup. I picked Becker, so I was wrong. I was wrong about this one too. I picked Kim, and Lance said, "Hey, Tyler, fuck you." So it's not even that Kim had a bad week. Consistent players were a little under-consistent. Burrow did well. Amon-Ra is Amon-Ra. He's really good. Thielen did okay. Mixon did okay. I mean, a lot of okays over here. Sam Howell on the bench. You're not going to start Sam Howell over Joe Burrow, so, can't really say anything about that one too much. But going forward, the Giants are so bad that all they can do is run it with Saquon, and normally you would think that's a good thing, but their offensive line is hot garbage. So not really feeling great about Saquon for the remainder of the year. Everybody else will be fine, in my opinion. Adam Thielen, he's going to be back to, I think, what Adam Thielen was doing beforehand because Frank Reich is now, he relinquished the play calling duties for like, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. And now he's taking them back. So there's a direct correlation from when Adam Thielen was doing really well and when he wasn't to that decision there. So better days ahead for Adam Thielen. Plus, Kim had the Eagles on a bye, so there goes half our goddamn team. Lance, kind of a mediocre week from the quarterback. Chris Godwin didn't put up a whole lot either, but Jahmyr Gibbs, the league whore, who has been passed around from team to team to team to team, is actually rewarding Lance for keeping him for more than a week. Jahmyr Gibbs looks like a really good player going forward. Trade stock definitely pretty high on Jahmyr Gibbs at the moment. As the Montgomery owner, I'm actually more than a little. I'm pretty nervous about the Jahmyr Gibbs Montgomery split. I have to hope that Montgomery still gets the goal line stuff. But Jahmyr Gibbs is proving that he's the more talented running back. That is for sure. TJ Hawkinson, 30 points. That's insane. 11 receptions, too. That's pretty big. Javonte Williams is coming alive. Finally, I love to see it. I know Ben was right there with me, but that was my boy last year and his boy last year. Good game from Garrett Wilson, which surprising to me because, with Aaron Rodgers. I feel so bad for Lance for drafting fucking Garrett Wilson in the second round because he drafted Nick Chubb in the first round, hurt on IR, out for the year. Second round comes back with Garrett Wilson, who looked like a steal with Aaron Rodgers and was just going to get peppered with targets. And then Aaron Rodgers goes down game one. And, you're stuck starting Garrett Wilson because he's so talented, but yet he's just been like, this is a good game from him, but a lot of his other games have kind of just been mediocre for what his talent level is. So, it just sucks. But Lance is on the uprise, so I don't remember what his record was before, but he's coming back for sure with a vengeance. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I would do my best Forrest Gump impression, but I shouldn't. So this is the one that Matt, I had a conversation with him a couple days ago. I originally picked Matt to win, but then I waffled on it because of the Hurts, A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert thing. But again, Matt's team and the fantasy gods have to prove me wrong. So, and even 5 points from your quarterback who goes out and gets injured, in the middle of the game, and he still wins. Dude gets 20 points from the damn defense. Mike Evans had himself a game. George Kittle had his game. Brian Robinson with fucking 6 receptions for 119 yards. That's insane. I mean, look at these projections. 10 and you get double that. 8 and you get, fucking triple? That's insane. Jonathan Taylor, decent game. Pittman, decent game. Tyler Boyd did very well with T. Higgins out. So, Matt's team's one of those teams where it's like the projections are all like mid-teens, and they actually do that as a floor almost every week. So, I was correct, though, when I put him at number 1 on the power rankings and said he is the team to beat. I fully believe that. So, Ben's team. So Kyler Murray looked pretty good coming back. First week back, 17 points. That's amazing. You would assume that he only gets, he goes up from here. You would have hoped that Hollywood would have got more than one catch for 28 yards, but you throw it away and you do it again next week and hope that it's not a trend. Devontae Adams had a decent game. I don't know. I'm nervous about that one. Breece Hall, 10 points. A little rough there. Nothing he shouldn't bounce back from. McCaffrey, 20 points. It's fucking Christian McCaffrey. Of course it is. Mark Andrews, 6 points. That kind of hurts, especially whenever he's got Where is he at? Trey McBride on the bench here, putting up 21 points. You got to make that hard decision. Do you put in Trey McBride over Mark Andrews, and then as soon as you do, it's not gonna work out, and you look like a moron. So Keenan Allen went fucking bananas, 40 points this week. Yeah. So Ben, I mean, maybe you start Purdy over Kyler in his first game back, but I mean, you didn't expect 20, 30 points from Purdy. So depth did pretty well this week for him though, but just a bad week. So wrong on that projection. I am 0 for 4. Let's see. I don't remember what I picked. I actually picked one correctly. Okay. So another really close game here. Tim edges out Tiffany by 4 points. So Tiff's team, like I've been saying all year long, this was a more consistent week, to be fair. But like I've been saying all year long, the boom busts hurting her pretty bad. You get the boom from Herbert, Lockett, Foreman. I'm going to consider a boom because I did not expect Foreman to do that. And Sutton can't stop catching touchdowns. So, but then Stephon Diggs. I mean that one's rough. 3 for 34, 6 points. Derrick Henry, that's really rough as well. Michael Thomas got hurt in the middle of the game, so he only gets you 1.9. That's rough. And then I know she's had some bad luck with the defenses this year, trying to play the matchups, and it just doesn't work out for her. So Gibson kind of had a decent game, caught the touchdown, wouldn't have started him, so I don't blame her there. Tim's team, though, Baker had a decent game. Ayuk had a good game. Tank Dell doubled his projection, good game. The Texans are looking pretty good. I don't personally believe. I don't know what to believe with Houston. The Robert Woods, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Noah Brown thing. I think that Tank Dell and Nico Collins are the two guys in that offense that you really want. And I think Tank Dell's number one. Rookie talent. If they would, I'm not saying hyper target them too, but if they would, them guys would be putting up massive weeks. Austin Eckler, good game. He's, of course, Austin Eckler. ETN, bad game from ETN. Tim, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Called it. Sam Laporta, down game from Sam Laporta, actually. Still, for a tight end, 8 points, not bad, consistent. That's about as low as he's gone, I think, this year. Maybe other than maybe one, 0 or 1 2-point game. So, can't really be too mad about that. It's a tight end position. You kind of just get what you get with that one. Cook did all right. Addison did all right. Defense did all right. So, Tim had a consistent week this week, and Tiff had the boom bust, and then obviously, with some of the busts hurt quite a bit, and cost her the win there. So I feel like I was gonna sneeze. Damn it. So why? Oh, I can't project the winner because the games have already started. Okay, well, I'll say it out loud, and I'll be wrong next week, and we won't be able to see it. So Matt and myself this week, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. Matt's going to wipe the goddamn floor with my team. It just is what it is. I'm aware of it. I'm fine with it. It is what I knew it this whole week. So, granted, it's only the second quarter, but at the moment, it's looking like I made the right decision in not starting Lamar Jackson or Zay Flowers. As soon as I say that, Lamar's going to throw 5 touchdowns in the second half, but I said it, so it's too late. I got Olave on a bye. He's got Pittman and Jonathan Taylor on a bye, but I don't think it matters. He had half his team on a bye last week and still won somewhat handily. So you're your weakest point of your team this week, I would say, is Devin Singletary, and that's probably a better start this week than both of my running backs. So, what can you say? Matt wins. Moving on. Becker and John. So Keaton, he started Keaton Mitchell. Oh, okay, that's why. Ramondre, Kamara, Pitts, all on a bye. Justin Jefferson may or may not be back this week. Still not sure. I haven't seen any news. On it. Limited participant on Thursday. I'd imagine he plays, but at the same time, I don't know, man. It's Denver. Do you really need to rush him? I don't know if they're rushing him back or if they're taking it. Time will tell. But I would imagine if Justin Jefferson is playing, that Becker's going to play Justin Jefferson, probably over like a Hopkins or a Ridley or something. But you may not have that luxury of knowing he might be a game time decision, and you don't have any Sunday night players. It's all Sunday morning, so it's kind of a tough call there. But yeah, Keaton Mitchell not having a great game so far. Chase so far has, like I said, only the second quarter. So I think that Chase will struggle just a little bit for Jamar Chase struggle type thing. Yeah, I know that doesn't make sense, but you guys know what I mean. He's Jamar Chase, so he's still going to have a decent week, but I don't think he's going to have a Jamar Chase week. The Ravens defense is insanely good. Not projecting a whole lot from Hopkins. Same with Njoku. I don't know what to think about James Conner. Maybe. And also, Ridley's either going to have 0 points or he's going to have 20 points. It's just what Calvin Ridley is this year. Josh Jacobs should be all right. Dak Prescott against Carolina. You love to see the easy throw-up matchups if you're Becker. John's got Patty Mahomes against Philly. So everybody's talking about how this is going to... Sorry, let me take a drink of water. No editing software whatsoever, so fuck it, we'll do it live. Everybody's saying that the Chiefs Philly game is going to be like, high scoring game. I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say that it's going to be a very low scoring game. So I think that Patrick Mahomes doesn't meet that 26 point projection. Not saying he puts up like 10 points or nothing. I'm thinking more of like a 14, 15, but Cooper Kupp against Seattle should be all right. Debo should eat against Tampa Bay. Kenneth Walker should be really good against the Rams. Madison, if he plays, pretty sure he's in concussion protocol. Limited. I don't think Alexander Madison plays. And at that point, I guess he's probably going to... I imagine you probably rock with Jerick McKinnon, which, not good. He'll probably catch a touchdown, though. It's the fucking Chiefs. They do weird shit, especially in primetime games. If Taylor's there, they're going to win the game, so. Evan Ingram, meh. Najee Harris, little scared. Cleveland defense is pretty good. They might have one of the best defenses in the league, in my opinion. It's just kind of a shame that offense is so bad that the defense is going to start looking a little bit worse. A lot of short field situations coming up soon in their future. Jerry Jeudy, you saw last week what Jerry Jeudy is. He's, 4 for 40, and then you just hope and pray for a touchdown. Pittsburgh's defense against Cleveland offense, now that is a hell of a fucking pickup, unless you already had them, in which case, good on you. I think Becker's going to pull it out, though. So, moving on. Kim and Ben. So, that kind of sucks for Mark Andrews. He's capped there at the 4.3, out for the game. That's probably going to play into my projection here a little bit. I can't help it. You already know that one's happened. Burrow, not having a great game so far. Ravens defense is strong. I don't think he has an amazing game anyways. Amon-Ra is going to have a great game. Devontae Smith is actually the receiver that I think is going to have the most points over like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith is going to be his week this week. So whether that's really good or just kind of okay remains to be seen. I think you can. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Kansas City's defense is actually pretty good too. So I don't really know. DeAndre Swift, kind of the same boat. Don't really know. If Saquon's going to have a good week, it would be this week against Washington because Washington's defense is hot garbage. They traded away half their damn defense. So, yeah. I'm thinking that that's one of those games because I think that game has the highest over-under projection, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Houston, Arizona? I don't remember. But anyway, those two, McLaurin and Barkley, should have good games. Mixon, right now he's got 3.4 points. Haven't watched anything beyond the Mark Andrews injury, so yeah. Thielen on the bench. I get it that it's against Dallas, but I still think Thielen's going to have a good game this week. If I was her, I know it's really hard to do, but I would have started Sam Howell over Joe Burrow. The Giants' defense is hot garbage. So, Sam Howell's actually been really good. I think he's like top 3 at quarterback for the year. I know it's really hard to do, but I probably would have. I know that's kind of somewhat Captain Hindsight since there's, a quarter and basically a quarter and a half gone in the game, but still. So right now he's got Brock Purdy in over Kyler Murray. Don't know enough about Houston's defense, like passing defense, to really sit there and say that I agree with that or not, but I do know that Tampa Bay has a suspect defense, so I get what you're doing there. Hollywood, don't really know. Judging by last week, I think the 13 points is a little high there. Devontae Adams, I do feel, should have a decent game against Miami. I think he's going to be the one that gets hyper-targeted out of that Raiders offense. Breece Hall against Buffalo, probably going to have a good game. Probably about the 12-point projection, I would say safe. Christian McCaffrey, of course, he's going to put up 20 points. It's Christian McCaffrey. Keenan Allen is limited practices with a shoulder injury. Saw an update a little bit ago that he's dealing with a shoulder problem. Says he's going to play, but Keenan Allen, very injury prone. That's a very scary situation. If you have Keenan Allen, I have him in another league, so I get it. Dallas defense is going to do Dallas defense things this week against Carolina. I know they're kind of starting to hurt a little bit. They've, I think Leighton Vander Esch is the one I think I saw that's out for the year. So losing pieces left and right. Jerome Ford on the bench against Pittsburgh. I get it. Pittsburgh has a pretty good run D. So, yeah. I don't really know what to say about projections. I kind of agree with Yahoo here that this is going to be a very, very, very close game. I guess I'm just going to have to say, judging by what just happened. No, that wasn't. Okay, it must have been a big pass to Joe Mixon there. I was literally circling Kim. You guys, if you were paying attention on the video, you saw it. I was going to give the slight advantage to Kim because of the matchup stuff versus Ben, but, I mean, it's going to be a close game. If you tell me Ben wins, I'm not surprised whatsoever. Ryan and Tim. the underperformers versus the dumpster fire. So, CeeDee Lamb, going to have an amazing game. We all know that. We're getting it out of the way now. Tony Pollard, same thing. Hasn't had a touchdown since week 1, and you know this motherfucker is about to get like 2 this week because I traded him off of my team. So, you're welcome, Ryan. Kelsey, he's going to be all right. I think Rashee Rice is going to have a good game this week. Aaron Jones, I don't expect much. Puka's kind of just iffy unless Stafford comes back, in my opinion anyway. CJ Stroud should be pretty good against Arizona. Bijan's on a bye. Douglas on a bye. A defense on a bye. Tim's got Tua against Vegas. So I don't know. Vegas has a good defense, but I think Miami's just too powerful to be stopped. So Ayuk has a good game, I think. I know Debo's back, but I still think Ayuk's going to be involved more so than people are projecting. I know Debo's the one, so Ayuk's going to take a little bit of a performance dip as what he had from when Debo was in there, but I still think Ayuk's going to be good. Good enough to start every week and not really think too much about it. Tank Dell, kind of the same thing. You kind of just throw him in there until he proves that he shouldn't be. Eckler against Green Bay. I think Green Bay has a decent run defense. I'm not 100% sure, but it's still Eckler, so he's going to be amazing. Etienne versus Tennessee. So Tennessee, you can run on the Titans, so I think Etienne bounces back a little bit. I still stand by what I said, Tim. But, yeah, we'll leave that there. Laporta, good game against Chicago. Calling it. Not a surprise. Jordan Addison against Denver. Think he has a good game. It'd be very interesting to see if Justin Jefferson comes back, if Addison is still putting up the production that he has. I would personally be worried about it, but at the same time, Josh Dobbs looks on fire at the moment. So I think the rushing side of Josh Dobbs kind of puts a cap, like a ceiling on Jefferson and Addison for the rest of the year. But, it all remains to be seen. So James Cook against the Jets, I don't really like that. I think the Jets have a pretty damn good defense. I didn't know he had Josh Dobbs, so you still start 2 over Josh Dobbs. You don't get crazy. T. Higgins out, that kind of hurts Tim a little bit too. I'm gonna pick. I forgot to do it. I'm gonna pick Ryan. I think the Stroud, Lamb, Pollard thing that's about to fucking happen. I don't know if you can hear the anger in my voice, but I already know what's about to happen. Kelsey. I think that trumps the Eckler, Dell, Ayuk, Tua combo. So Tiffany and Lance. So every single time I pick Lance to lose, he puts up like the most points in the league and wins. So I'm gonna pick Lance to win right off the gate. So Allen against the Jets should be decent. Not great, but decent. Godwin against the 49ers, I'm a little worried about. Amari Cooper, I am extremely worried about. I know I would say at the deadline I would try to move him, but at the same time his value dipped down so low that you almost just have to hold on to him and hope and pray it works. Cleveland's starting that two last name rookie quarterback dude that looked god awful the 1 week he played. I can't even remember his name at the moment, but doesn't look great. I think they're kind of just giving up now that Deshaun Watson's out for the year. Rashad White, I know he's been having good games, but he's not going to have a good game against the San Francisco defense. I just don't think he does. Jahmyr Gibbs, on the other hand, is a monster and is going to do Jahmyr Gibbs things. And, everybody who was like, why would the Lions take him at number 11 or 12 or whatever they fucking took him at? Because I know they already have a running back, but you don't pass on the talent. And Jahmyr Gibbs is proving that to everybody at the moment. I think T.J. Hawkinson has another good game. Denver's defense not has been better as of late, but I still think they're suspect. Garrett Wilson, I really don't know what to think. He probably has a good game because I feel like they're going to have to come from behind against Buffalo. But then again, Buffalo's been bad. I don't know. It's weird. I think Javonte Williams has a good game this week as well. Not a lot of bench options that you could put in there. I personally think I would have started Baltimore's defense over Detroit, but at the same time, that would be a hard call, and I understand why he didn't do it. Justin Fields coming back may make the matchup look a little bit worse, but I say this as the Justin Fields manager. I think this 1 week, the first week he's back with that thumb injury, I think is going to be a little bit of a, I want to say growing pains, but it's not really that. It's going to be a kind of a rough week for Justin Fields. I think he gets it back on track, but just not this week. So I get why you start Detroit's defense. I personally just would have went with Baltimore and, thinking that they can hold Cincy to, not a lot of points and maybe get like a pick six or, a couple sacks like they have already and a fumble or something like that. Joe Burrow's now in the medical tent. Holy shit, what did I miss? Huh. I must have missed something. Oh, Lamar Jackson also headed them. Okay, well, good thing I didn't start Lamar Jackson. Sorry, updates while the game's going on. Justin Herbert probably has a good game against Green Bay. Stephon Diggs definitely doesn't put up 6 points again. I think he, comes back. There's a whole drama around that, and Stephon Diggs, while he is great for fantasy and very consistent, and Tiffany fucking is in love with having Stephon Diggs on her fantasy team, I personally hate him as a player because he is such a fucking little pussy diva and cries every time he doesn't get 9 receptions in a game. Whether they win or lose, he doesn't care about that. I think he just cares about the stats. Which for fantasy is a good thing, but for actual NFL and being a fan of the game itself, he's one of the people I hate most in the league. Tyreek, it's Tyreek. He's probably gonna put up more than the 20 points. Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry. God damn it! Another sip of water. My voice has been kind of hit and miss all day. Derrick Henry, I think, definitely bounces back from his 3-point performance, but I still not saying he's going to be very great this week. I think Jacksonville kind of, reels him in a little bit. Deontay Foreman, don't like that at all, actually. Kincaid, I think maybe has a down week for Kincaid. He's still going to get some targets, so, it's a tight end. What can you do? You got to throw him out there. Lockett, not really sure what to think. He's been doing all right as of late, but, it's kind of a boom bust with him. And Cortland Sutton, he'll probably go for 2 for 20 with a touchdown because apparently he catches a touchdown in every game. So picking Lance to win that one. So that was that. I think let's look at the playoff schedule if the league ended right now. So Ben and Matt still have the byes. I play Ryan and Lance plays Becker. Where's consolation? There we go, consolation. Well, they would all be on a bye, but Tiffany would play John and Tim would play Kim. Let's see. Nope, not that. Okay. So as of right now, standings, Tim has come out of the basement and is now not actually last place, winning his last 2 games. John has taken his 4-loss streak down to the bottom of the cellar here. Kim has lost 2 in a row, not looking too hot. Tiffany has lost 3 in a row. That's very concerning. Ryan's gone a 2-game winning streak. Everybody else, not really much to talk about except for Matt. 6-game winning streak. This dude started the year 1-3 and has not looked back. Crazy. Within 1 game of Ben now. So, power rankings off the top of the head. I've got John at 10 still, obviously. 4-game losing streak. Same points as last week. I actually have myself at 9, which I think is what I had last week. I'm trying to remember while I'm talking, but I can't. I'm putting myself at 9. I've got Tim at 8. I've got Tim at 8. I've got Ryan at 7. I've got Tiffany at 5. I've got Kim at 4. Becker at 3. Lance, I fucked up. I'm going to start from the beginning because that's just going to be easier. Matt at number 1. Ben at number 2. Lance at number 3. Becker at 4. Kim at 5. Tiffany at 6. Ryan at 7, Tim at 8, myself at 9, and John at 10. I don't know why I can't talk. I'm trying to think of what I had last week and talking about who moved where, but I don't fucking remember. I don't write this shit down. I probably should, but I don't. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything that went crazy different from last week. The only thing I'll throw out there for the justification of having Kim above Ryan and Tiffany, even though she has about or less the same points scored, I like Kim's team better than the both of them, so that's why I have that there. I'm not taking account into schedules and stuff because I don't know everybody else's schedule. I only know my schedule for the remainder of the year. And depending on what... So I think he loses, and loses. Okay, so I think he loses out, and I think I lose out. So, if we're going off of the standings, then that means he's going to finish last. If that happens, he'll lose. He'll be 3-11, and I would be 6-8. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my power rankings. That's the podcast. So, trade deadline is on Saturday. If you are listening to this podcast still, make your trades as early in the day as possible. So, a little bit of an insight into my life. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. And I am a very heavy sleeper. If you guys make a trade at 11:58 p.m., I am not going to see it. I am not going to be able to push it through. And it will get rejected because the trade deadline has passed and the league commissioner has not approved it. So, let's just throw out an imaginary trade deadline cap at 10 p.m. on Saturday. I know Ben stays up kind of late, but dude has kids, don't know his work schedule, so I'm going to assume that he is also not up late. If you're getting kind of close to the time and, it's been maybe 15 minutes or so and I haven't approved the trade or Ben hasn't approved the trade, send me a text message. Do not put it in the Facebook Messenger. I do not check that very often. Everybody in this league has my phone number, except Lance, I think. Lance, I'll shoot you my phone number. I'm not going to put it on here because I put this out for the world on Spotify and YouTube. But if you want it, I will shoot you my phone number. You text me. Yeah, don't wait till the last minute. That's all I'm getting at. So 2 days away from the trade deadline. I know there's been a lot of chatter about making moves. I think I'm done personally. I have made the last fucking 4 trades in this league. The last trade that didn't involve me was on October 18th, and that was the big boy trade of the year. So, yeah. Anyway, that is all I got for this week's episode. I appreciate everybody watching, and maybe next week, probably we'll do a Wednesday podcast next week. I know it's Thanksgiving week, so I'll give you guys something to listen to while you are driving to your loved one's house to enjoy the holiday. I probably won't keep it kid friendly, so yeah. Anyway, thanks guys for listening, and I will see you next week.